Hey everyone, Nick here. It's been a while since I've made a video and posted it here, but got some things I've been kicking around in my brain the past few months, and so I thought I'd make a few videos and put some of these ideas out here. Basically, everybody's talking about the end of computer science now. It's like we don't need to teach programming. Programming languages are dead. We don't need data structures and threading and memory management and all that stuff. We're just going to vibe code everything, right? And the idea is you just tell a program what you want the computer to do and it'll generate some code for you. And yeah, maybe that sort of kind of works in the short term. Maybe you can save some money, get rid of some programmers and so on. But it's a house of cards, right? Because ultimately the reason we need computer scientists is not because we need someone to write a back-end server for your web page, right? We need computer scientists because they're trained to problem solve, to look at large-scale problems, break them down into small pieces, analyze those pieces, come up with solutions, test them, debug them, put them together, do the system-level thinking, do the long-term planning, do the cost-benefit analysis, the longer-term consequences, those kinds of skills, right? That's what a computer science degree is developing in you. Not just the ability to write a for loop without going to Stack Overflow, right? So I was talking to some people about high school outreach and trying to figure out what could we do that would, bring in students from a local school and get them excited about studying computer science, right? And we were talking about AI and putting them on some models and doing Claude and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, people don't need to go to a college outreach event to be able to play around with AI. Most of these students are probably using AI in their homework already. They're using it for all kinds of things. They've probably done some vibe coding on their own. It's not clear that that's really going to, get them excited about, oh, I want to study computer science. I want to understand computer architecture, right? So I got this idea of what about if we go to the other extreme of things? What if instead of trying to, expose students to more of this higher end stuff, we take them to the bare metal level, right? We get them working with the lowest level of a computer, get them working in machine language, get them interacting with the CPU as close to the metal as possible. And a lot of people that's not going to be appealing, but for somebody who is kind of inclined to understanding how things work and wanting to problem solve at the low level, this might be a way to entice people into, hey, let's learn more about computer science. This is kind of cool stuff. So I've been playing around with that idea, and the sentiment I had for that was this idea of touch grass, right? So if you have a friend who's like all caught up in their social media and checking the reactions to their posts and all this sort of stuff, watching YouTube shorts all day, you might gently tell them, hey, I think you need to go touch grass, right? You need to get in touch with something that's real, something that is of the real world instead of this sort of imagined digital world that you've immersed yourself in. And I realized a similar notion applies to computer science and to programming, because today's programming suite, you've got these fancy IDEs that are writing your code almost before you think about it. They're doing auto completion. Sometimes they'll create entire stubs of code and you just go and fill in the spots. And of course, vibe coding, where you're not even thinking about an algorithm, a set of steps. You're just saying what you want, and this thing is producing the code. And so to me, the equivalent of touching grass for programming would be touching metal, right? Trying to get back to that base raw essence of what a computer is, getting down to that metal level and interacting with it. And I thought, what better way to do that than to have a system where you can actually directly manipulate memory, single step the CPU, examine what's going on in memory, hit a button to generate an interrupt, that kind of stuff. So bringing back the idea of a low-level interface to the underlying CPU, the memory system, but doing it in a way that is conducive to people who want to learn about how these things work. So I've put together this little board. It's called a touch metal board. and it's basically an emulated 8-bit microprocessor. Very, very simple. 256 memory locations, octal input being preferred, so you can type in addresses and values in octal, and a small set of buttons for interacting with the CPU and the system, for examining and modifying memory, stepping the program, letting it free run, and so on and so forth. And it's even got a handy little programming guide on the back that will let you, if you want to do an add instruction, you can find the machine code right there. It's tailored for education. It is designed with an eye towards being easy to go from, say, assembly language to machine code without having to do a lot of, fancy manipulation of the bit masks and so on, at the expense of not having a huge amount of memory, not having a lot of fancy addressing modes, having a pretty limited instruction set. But nonetheless, it's got a nice display here that will show you what's going on. It'll show you your status flags, and it will also disassemble the memory contents for you, so you can actually see the instructions that are about to be executed. So that was the idea, and I've got these boards developed. I'm currently waiting for compliance testing with FCC before I could actually start making these things available. But I wanted to put together some videos and basically go through some of the basic ideas of how computers work from the ground up, right? And this is intended to be for people who really don't have a lot of experience with computers, certainly no experience with assembly language, machine language, computer architecture, and so on. But even if you have got that experience, it may be a different view on some of those things. So I don't know how many videos I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of start off from the beginning and build up, and I'll be using this this board as an example. And until these boards are available, right, you can go to the touchmetal.org website, and if you come under resources, you can actually get to an emulator that that looks like the board here, and so you can, toggle in buttons and examine memory and deposit things into memory and single step the CPU and so on and so forth. So there's a way to play along at home in the absence of actually having the physical board. But my hope is that pretty soon I'll be able to put these boards on a board somewhere where they can be bought, and then you'll be able to actually pick it up and hear the buttons click and interact with these ideas. All right, that's my plan. Let's go ahead and get started.